And today we're talking San Francisco 49ers football, like we always do, as we always lead off the show with 49ers news and rumors. So let's go right to it. The Niners made a big announcement over this past week. They re-signed Kyle Juszczyk to a 2-year deal. Let's take a look at the details. A 2-year deal worth $8 million. $7 million of it was guaranteed. And they made a flurry of signings. Were they big signings? Some of them I think were kind of big signings, but they brought back Kyle Juszczyk. This is a locker room leader, a team favorite. Now, a lot of people were kind of thrown off by this signing because they felt like, hey, look, I thought we're moving on past Kyle Juszczyk. I thought maybe there was time for us to go to a different set of personnel. Why are we bringing back Kyle Juszczyk? But I think the main reason is this. So they took the same amount of money they were going to pay him this next season, and they turned that into a 2-year deal. Now, $7 million is guaranteed, but he was set to make about, I think, $7 million to $8 million this coming season. Now, with the new contract, they've taken the last year of his contract and turned it into 2 years. Turned it into 2 years, which I think is great. Like I said, a lot of people were like, no, they shouldn't re-sign him. Why are they re-signing him? But look, he's a leader in the locker room. You got to have a little bit of that veteran leadership in the locker room, especially when you're going into a draft where you're going to be drafting heavily, not only for defense, but for offense as well. And so you're stuffing your locker room full of just young players. And I think this is a great thing to do, is to bring in somebody who's a little more experienced, has that veteran leadership. And look, another thing too, this is what Rockin' New Era 84 writes, also not many teams even use fullbacks, so his options are limited. Exactly. And I think when you look at it, they released him so he can go pursue his own contract, right, with a different team. I think he saw what the market was like out there. And I think he realized, hey, wait a minute. If I go to, let's say, the Steelers, I'm only going to get used a handful of times. I'm only going to get used on certain downs. The Niners, he's an integral part of their offense, even if he doesn't get the ball. They have him in motion. They have him as a receiver. They have him in the backfield blocking. So he does a lot of things. And I think that, when it comes to someone like Kyle Shanahan, I think that that's what he wanted. He wanted somebody that he is familiar with, someone that he knows how to use. And I think he wanted that experience in the locker room. I'm not opposed to this contract signing. It's not like they've gone and spent a bunch of money anyway. So I'm fine with them bringing back Kyle Juszczyk. It was either that or, they changed their whole philosophy on offense by not using the fullback when they've used that fullback for the past 6 years now. So I'm okay with the signing. I like they brought back Kyle Juszczyk. Like I said, leadership in the locker room. He knows the offense. They use him in different ways. And not to mention, over the past few years, he's made some clutch fucking catches, especially in playoff games. So yeah, I'm all for this signing. And he wants to be a Niner. That's the other thing too, is that he wants to be a Niner. Now, how do I know this? Well, he recently did an interview on SiriusXM. It was posted all over social media. And I wanted to share that with you guys. And this is what he had to say about wanting to come back to San Francisco. I think that's really important. So let's take a listen.
The last couple of days, it's funny you said it was a short stint that I was a free agent, but for me, it felt again like a lifetime. I had discussions with them throughout the off season that maybe it was a possibility that I was going to have to take a pay cut or we're going to have to rework some things in my contract. But it was never anything definite. It was just something that they put on my radar and something that, I needed to be prepared for. And just as things went on, I just the optimist in me started telling myself that, man, I don't think we're going to have to do this. It's getting close to the actual free agency period. Haven't heard too much. Things are kind of looking good. But then, they finally, a couple of days before that, were like, yeah, this is a real thing. The financial restrictions we're under are a real thing. And, they kind of put it in my court of whether, I wanted to be released or if we wanted to continue to try and negotiate a pay cut. But I think, like anybody, it's good to see what your market is. And so they gave me the opportunity to do that. And so me and my agent, went to work and we had some interested teams, and we explored those possibilities because I feel like that's just fair to me and my family. You got to explore those possibilities, even if it's something that deep down maybe you don't want to do. We looked into it, and I think, just to put it in the simplest terms, at the end of the day, it was too much to leave home. I wanted to be a Niner, and we were able to get to a number that I was comfortable with, and then we were able to make the deal, and I couldn't be happier, and I'm trying not to look back at all. Like, I'm just happy to be there and know I'm locked in for 2 more years. The last couple.
Well, and so I think what's important to take from this, right, is that he wants to be a Niner. He wants to play for the San Francisco 49ers. He's committed to the 49ers. And I think you have to have that. You have to have guys that want to be here, guys that want to contribute to this team, guys that want to get this team over the hump. And I think that's what's important about re-signing a guy like Kyle Juszczyk. Rock a New Era 84 writes, Juice should be more involved in the offense. Great hands, not utilized more. 1 to 3 total touches per game wouldn't hurt, in my opinion. No, and I agree. I think they could use him a lot. But another thing, too, that he mentioned was that the Niners allowed him to go out there and kind of test the market to see what his value is, like what he's worth. And I don't think he got a lot because not a lot of teams use fullbacks anymore. And he knows that the Niners still use the fullback. So I think, look, he went out there, he tested the market, probably got an offer from the Steelers. It was probably a really shitty offer, probably like $2 million, $3 million. Who knows? Who knows? He wanted to come back here. He wanted to be on the Niners. He wants to see the Niners succeed. And what did they do? They rewarded him, brought him back on a 2-year deal, turned that 1-year deal of salary into 2 years, and now he's here for another couple of years. And like I said, hopefully he'll bring a little bit of that leadership that this team has kind of been lacking, especially last season. You got players fighting with one another. It was ridiculous. And speaking of that, speaking of players who are fighting one another, we know Deebo Samuel's gone. Deebo he got traded to Washington, as my father-in-law says it. But there was another guy who was a part of that little squaffle that he got cut too. And who was that? That's Tabor Pepper. The Niners cut ties with long snapper Tabor Pepper, which I was like, wow. The guy's very active on social media, but he was also a part of the interaction with Deebo and Jake Moody, who's still on the team. So that was kind of interesting. I thought, wow, okay, so they got rid of, what's his face? Tabor Pepper. Nice guy. Don't get me wrong. Nice guy. And they re-signed a new long snapper, Weeks. Let me see if I can pull that one up. So for some reason, I didn't have that one up to show you guys, but I did post about that. But they signed a new long snapper, an older guy, but he's more, apparently he's a higher end when it comes to long snappers. A lot of experience as well. And so I think what's happening here is that Brant Boyer is completely redoing the entire special teams. I think they're telling Brant Boyer, hey, I want you to search for the guys you want, and let's go get them. Because they realized last season how bad their special teams were. And they were really bad. I think there were 30 out of 32 teams. They were terrible. And it cost them a ton of games. I was like, man, every time something good would happen, the freaking special teams would rear its ugly head and would cost us a game. Because they were just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, here it is. So what did they do? They went out and got this guy. They got the 39-year-old long snapper, John Weeks, who's been on a number of different teams, but he costs them less. He's got more experience. Probably doesn't fuck around on social media. I agree. Our special teams wasn't so special. They're the opposite of special. Special in a bad way. So they made an adjustment there, and I think they made an improvement. Getting John Weeks to take over as their long snapper for the San Francisco 49ers. But they weren't done yet. No. They made some more signings, too. We're going to go through these pretty quick. They just recently made this signing, which is the acquisition of Syrian Neal. So they continue to rebuild their special teams. They brought in Syrian Neal. He had 2,000 plus special team snaps and fits the 49ers size and weight threshold for DBs, perfectly at 6 foot 206. This is a special teams specialist when he was with Buffalo and for the Miami Dolphins. So the Niners brought him in as well. I like that. Making more changes to help improve our special teams, which were, as Taryn just said, not so special. They weren't. They weren't special at all. Now, they also brought in DeMarcus Robinson. Robinson came in on a 2-year deal for $9.5 million, $6 million guaranteed. He recently played with the Rams. Now, this is a guy that can stretch the field. This is a guy that we can use in place of, let's say, a Brandon Ayuk. But this is a guy who has some speed. He made big plays for the Rams. And I think this is a guy they're going to try and use to stretch the field, to open things up underneath for both Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. And if they were to draft a guy like Savion Williams, who's like a Deebo Samuel 2.0, this guy would also help stretch the field. That way you're not putting all that pressure on the smaller Jacob Cowing, who's going into his second year. I like this signing. I thought it was really good. I was really happy with it. A lot of people called it a sneaky signing, kind of flying under the radar kind of signing. But I liked it. I liked they brought him in. He used to play for the Rams. He's 30 years old. He's 6'1", 203 pounds. His PFF grade is 69.4 for all receivers. He had 7 touchdowns and 505 yards receiving, but 7 touchdowns. That's good. So I like the signing of DeMarcus Robinson. I think he gives us a speed option and just an experienced receiver out there with a group that is a little inexperienced at this moment. Obviously, Juwan Jennings has experience. Brandon Ayuk is out. Deebo Samuel is gone. We don't know if they're going to bring back Chris Connolly, and Jacob Cowing and Pearsall are on their second year. So you may draft one, but still, you got a young core. So they brought in a veteran, who can help them out, and I like that. I like that move. Another big move they made was the signing of, where'd it go? The signing of Mac Jones. Now, Mac Jones is a guy that Kyle Shanahan was linked to even back when he got drafted, the year we drafted Trey Lance. The rumor was that, Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, but due to ownership pressure and front office pressure, they took Trey Lance. Now, is that true? We don't know for sure. But I do think there's some truth to it in the sense that, Mac Jones kind of reminded him of like a, what's his name? I'm blanking right now. I hate when this happens. The quarterback of the Falcons. But anyway, he kind of has that feel to him, and he's really good at processing plays as well, processing defenses. Matt Ryan. That's what it was. Nobody helped me. I remember that on my own. So I just want to put that out there. You might have Matt Ryan. So Mac Jones agreed to terms with the 49ers on a 2-year deal, $7 million, $5 million guaranteed, a max value of $11.5 million. Now, this is obviously I put a new backup for Brock Purdy. This is a 2-year deal. Desmond Ridder, Kirk Cousins. No, I was going farther back than that. Sorry, guys. But this is my thing with this, is that we heard the rumor that that John Lynch was trying to acquire a quarterback late in the year last season. We also found out that, I think it was from Tom Pelissero, that they were actually trying to acquire Mac Jones via trade before he was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So what does this mean for Brock Purdy? Well, Brock has not been re-signed to his new contract. So what this does do is it puts a little more pressure on Brock Purdy. So let's say they did offer him a contract between 45, 50, 55 million, 4 years. If he's hesitating in any way to want to sign this contract extension, this new contract, I should say, then they're going to say, well, take your time. We got Mac Jones. You want to hold out? Okay, we'll go with Mac. He's only 26 years old. He's 6'3", 220, only 26 years old, Mac Jones. So this is the guy they could lean on if Brock decides to hold out. Now, there's been no indication from either Brock Purdy or his team that that's what's going to happen. But in case it does, you have to have a backup option that you can lean on. And I think that's the significance of signing a guy like Mac Jones. His PFF grade is 65. Last year, he threw for just under 1,700 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was 35th in yards when it comes to quarterbacks. This is a guy in his rookie year, he made it to the Pro Bowl. I want to say he was actually an alternate because somebody else couldn't play, but still, he had a good year his rookie year. And then he kind of diminished as the years went on. But at the same time, he was playing for some bad teams, some bad Patriot teams. That was the post-Tom Brady era. And some bad Jacksonville Jaguars teams being ran by Trent Baalke. Get the hell out of here. Rocket New Era writes, if the Niners were prepared of extending Brock, why hadn't he been signed yet or extended yet? I don't know. But this does give them a bit of insurance in case Brock doesn't want to resign, wants to hold out. You got a guy in Mac Jones, a guy that Kyle Shanahan was rumored to want. You got him in the locker room now. So you got a guy you can lean on in case that does happen. And of course, if Brock does get hurt anytime this year, knock on wood that he doesn't, you got a guy in Mac Jones who's young, who's experienced. He's run a Sarkisian type offense similar to San Francisco. Johnny Dale, host of Johnny Dale's Football Academy, was on this show a month ago saying that he thought the Niners were going to sign Mac Jones. And they did. So props to Johnny Dell for calling it. But Mac Jones is now your number 2 quarterback on the San Francisco 49ers. Some would argue that he may end up being your number 1 quarterback, which I don't think that's going to be the case. Some people argue, oh, well, they may trade Brock during the draft. I don't think so. I don't. I love Brock Purdy, but some teams might not say, well, I'd rather have Brock Purdy than Cam Ward. Who knows? But I just don't think that's what you do. I don't think that Mac Jones is the guy that you get rid of Brock for and say, we're going to lean on you now. No. As a backup, though, I think he's a really good backup quarterback. This is a great signing for the Niners. 2-year deal. This is the equivalent of Sam Darnold 2.0. And I really, really like the deal. So props to the Niners for getting that done. On top of that, they traded Jordan Mason. They traded him to the Vikings, and when he goes to the Vikings, he'll get a 2-year deal. Minnesota sends their a 2026 6th-round pick and pick number 160. The Niners send Jordan Mason and pick 187, so they moved up from 187 to 160, and they picked up another draft pick the following year and sending Mason to the Vikings. Now, some people were upset about this. They thought, well, he played so well last season. Why would you trade him for? You need a capable backup running back behind Christian McCaffrey. Now, that part I agree with. You really need somebody because McCaffrey proved last season that he still hasn't shaken the injury bug. But I think when you look at it, I don't think Jordan Mason was happy here. I don't think Jordan Mason really wanted to be here anymore. We saw what he can do last season as a primary running back. And now he gets a chance to be that guy over on the Minnesota Vikings, who are really turning things around. Now, obviously, they're in the mix for Aaron Rodgers or maybe going with J.J. McCarthy. But, I mean, look, Mason ran for 789 yards last season and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, he lost playing time due to a little bit of injury and also the return of Christian McCaffrey. PFF has him ranked at 72.7 in all of all running backs. He has him ranked 26th amongst 47 running backs. And I think this is a guy that, 5'11", 223 pounds. I think this is a guy that they can lean on heavily. They got Aaron Jones, and now they're going to have Jordan Mason. So, hey, props to Jordan Mason for getting his contract, getting that 2-year deal. And I think it's well-deserved. The guy played his butt off, and we all saw that there was talent there. But when you got Christian McCaffrey, and we're trying to get younger, I don't know if Mason really fit the bill for what the Shanahan offense needs for running back. So they moved on from Jordan Mason, picked up an extra draft pick, moved up in the draft as well. And perhaps they'll draft a running back in this coming draft. They got a lot of running backs. This draft is deep with running backs. Ashton Genty, Cam Scatteraboo. So there's a lot of guys out there that you can draft. So, but I do want to say thank you to JP Mason for coming through and being a leader in terms of being our number one running back for the first half of the year. And much luck to you going over to Minnesota. You're gonna need it. No, I'm just kidding. So Mason's gone. Pepper's gone. We brought in John Weeks. Brought in some other players. Back at quarterback. That's all good. I'm happy about those signings. Brought in Syrian Neal, another special teams guy. Hampton, another prospect that's out there. Rocket New Era writes, if you're not CMC, you won't be a lead back on this team and hardly get any touches as long as CMC is healthy. I agree. I absolutely agree. Although I do believe that if a guy like Ashton Genty somehow makes it to number 11, I think they're going to draft him. I do. Because they want they want to get a guy that could complement Christian McCaffrey and who could eventually take over for Christian McCaffrey. But my focus in the draft is defensive line. And we're going to discuss that in just a few minutes. Yeah, the running back from Iowa is also really good. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Another thing I want to talk about, too, was when you look at Dre Greenlaw. Okay, Dre Greenlaw recently signed with the Denver Broncos, and now they finally released some of the details of his contract. So let's take a look at that. Dre Greenlaw's contract, it was 3 years, $31.5 million, $11.5 fully guaranteed, $2 million more next March, 1 year, $11.5 practical. Cap hits 5.8, 11.1, 13.1. This is not a huge contract. This is not a game breaker. This is not like Jed, he's going to take all your money kind of contract. And according to Adam Schefter, the Niners tried to sway him back, which means that they probably were going to match this deal, if not come close to it. But from the outside looking in, Niners, too little, too late. You had your chance to make him an offer, a multi-year offer to keep this guy. Now, there also could be the fact that he wanted to be the Mike linebacker. He wanted to be the lead, the Mike. He wanted to be the Fred Warner of whatever team he was going to. And that also could have contributed to his decision as well, is that, hey, it's time for me to have my own deal. It's time for me to do my own thing. And that could have been the case. Very easily could have been the case. I think it's a huge loss not having Dre Greenlaw. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The Niners can't go back and change everything. Tim Kawakami posted this earlier in the week. I think it was actually on, I have a date here. It was a couple days ago. And I thought it was interesting, too, because he talks about this right here. He says, the 49ers are not stupid. There's a plan here, and they're doing it. It's to cut cash spending. It's not about the cap. It's about Jed's money. If enraged fans hate to hear that and won't believe me when I say it, I should and will say it even more. And that's what this is about. This is about cutting the cash flow. Cutting back on Jed York's cash flow. How much money, how many checks he's writing for guaranteed money. For signing bonuses that are due, let's say, come April 1st or June 1st. So that's kind of what we're looking at here when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, there is still a bunch of other defensive ends and pass rushers that are out there. And then there was this, which really, really pissed off a lot of fans. Azeez Ojulari signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. on a 1-year deal for $4 million. You're telling me that San Francisco couldn't offer this contract? They couldn't match that? Maybe make it a $5 million? Now, I did bring up the idea that maybe, just maybe, if he was going to come to San Francisco, it might have cost more than $4 million. Just saying. Well, the Eagles, coming off their Super Bowl win, maybe he's like, yeah, let's go. I already live on the East Coast. I played for New York. Or I played for New York. And now he's going to Philly, which is, right around the corner. You can practically spit there. So for him, it's not a huge move. He probably doesn't have to change where he lives. And he's going there for 1 year, $4 million. He had 6 sacks last season. He stays in the NFC East with the Super Bowl champions. Tough pill to swallow because the Niners need some help when it comes to defensive end, pass rush, defensive line in general. It's bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. Guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be doing the mock draft 1.0 right here on the show. After that, we'll be talking Golden State Warriors basketball and San Francisco Giants spring training baseball. You're listening to NorCal Sports Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
You're listening to the DreArea Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
The DreArea Sports Show is brought to you by SEATGEEK. Use promo code DreArea Sports to save $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. And we are also brought to you by BetUS. BetUS will match you up to 125% on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 by using promo code DreArea Sports, PowerBrandSystems. If you're looking to build a website for your small business or YouTube channel, then check out PowerBrandSystems. Use promo code 300, power to save up to $300 on your first purchase at PowerBrandSystems.
So I got this AI-generated Super Bowl contenders or Super Bowl winners or whatever it is. AI predicts the next 10 Super Bowls. And I wanted to bring this up because I was like, dude, are you... And here's the thing. Even AI can be smoking crack sometimes. And why do I say that? Because you're telling me in 2026, it's going to be Buffalo, which, okay, versus the Cowboys? Are you fucking joking me right now? Get the hell out of here, dude. No fucking way. And yeah, the Buffalo Bills would beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys would never get to the Super Bowl. Come on. That's such a terrible prediction. Ravens versus Green Bay. That's possible. Bengals versus Niners. Bengals win. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Now, how the hell are they going to get to the Super Bowl when they have nobody on defense? You got their best player, Trey Hendrickson, wants to get traded. They can't stop anybody. They're spending $125 million on 3 players, a quarterback and 2 receivers. There's no way. And then they have the Bills going on this like magical run where they beat the Eagles, and then they lose to the Seahawks? Behind who? Sam Darnold? This is so stupid. They have no offensive line. And then somehow the Dolphins and the Bears. The Bears I could see, possibly, but the Dolphins? And then, of course, fucking Casey's ugly ass gets back in there and they lose to the Cardinals? Somehow the Patriots get back in it. I guess Drake May is next coming of Tom Brady. The Bengals go back again and lose. And then the Titans and the New York Giants. This is fucking stupid. All right, anyway. I saw this and I thought, you've got to be joking, dude. Get the hell out of here. No, thank you. Thanks for playing, but no thank you. Okay, so now we're going to do our mock draft 1.0. Now, I haven't done this yet on the show, and we're going to be doing it today. I was going to be joined by my good friend Aaron of 49ers First Takes, but he's under the weather, so I'm going to roll with this alone. I'm riding solo, like the song. Now, let's take a look at some of my previous drafts that I've done and just posted on X. I was like, hey, man, check this out. Maybe I should be in the front office. Probably not. Probably not. So my first draft, I got Michael Williams with number 11 pick. Walter Nolan fell to 48, which I don't think will happen in real life. Travion Henderson, 75. Savion Williams at 98. Jack Sawyer, because I wanted another edge rusher. Jackson Slater, I'm a Sac State guy, and he's a good offensive lineman from Sac State, a guard. And Jeffrey Boston. Now, this is just the first 5 rounds, which is probably what we're going to do today because I don't want to do all 7 rounds. So I thought this was a great draft. If this was a real draft, I would have been like, dude, we're set. We're back, baby. And then I did my second draft. And this is what I got. I got Armand Membu. Now, I was surprised that he fell number 11. But I was like, hell yeah. And then I got Kenneth Grant. Love Kenneth Grant. Big, imposing defensive tackle. I'm loving Kenneth Grant. Darius Alexander, another good defensive tackle. Would do a great job filling in. Cam Scatterbo. I got him as the backup running back. Loved it. Again, I took Jack Sawyer, Jamari Caldwell, another guard at LSU, Miles Frazier, and I picked up Nick Nash because guy's a baller. Baller for the San Jose Spartans. So I got 2 in this draft. I got 2 receivers. I got 2 defensive tackles. I got an extra edge rusher. I got 3 defensive tackles. Sorry, an extra edge rusher, and I got in 2 offensive linemen. So I was really happy with how this turned out. Now, is it going to turn out the same right now? Probably not. But we're going to find out because we're doing the mock draft right now as we speak. And here we go. This is courtesy of Pro Football Sports Network. You can go on there and do your own mock draft. But we're going to do, let's see. Let's just do the 5 rounds. So we're not here all day. We're going to do it on fast mode. I'm not making any trades. I'm not going to offer any trades. I'll take trades, but I'm not going to offer trades because it's going to take too long. And I'm going to be the San Francisco 49ers because, I mean, why wouldn't I be? And, okay, here we go. Ugh. Now, anyone who's watching at home, any suggestions on these picks, speak now or forever, I forgot the line. But anyway, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Put it in the chat. And here we go, guys. Okay, I need a countdown. Okay, here we go. All right, 3, 2. What? Somebody. Oh, and CG Ruthless shows up. What's up? If you want to jump on, man, and join me for the draft, let me know. I'll send you a link right now. Here, in fact, I'll just do this. I'll just send you a link if you want to jump on. This is the first ever mock draft on the NorCal Sports Report. It's a mock draft 1.0. It's going to be good. Oh, he says send the link. All right, let's do this. Let's see. I'd like to get another person up in here. Might as well be my buddy CG Ruthless. There you go. The link has been sent. So he'll be joining me for the mock draft 1.0. Rockin' DreArea writes, mock it up. Let's mock it up. Let's do it. As soon as Chris rolls out of bed and jumps on here, we'll be ready to go. Okay. Oh, hold on. I got dual audio there. I kind of jacked it up. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to start the draft. Chris will join me in just a few minutes, but I'm going to start the first round since I'm not on a timer. And here we go. Okay, here we go. Bam! Oh my God. Okay, let's hide these for right now because we'll wait for Chris to get here. Let's see what's happened already. So Cam Ward went number 1. Will Campbell, number 2. I don't think Will Campbell will go number 2. So I already think this is off. Travis Hunter went number 3. Abdul Carter fell to the Patriots at number 4. Most mock drafts don't let him get past the Patriots. Let me pull him on. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Dude, let's do this, man. And we got 49er Media. What's up, bro? If you want a link too, you can join us. We're doing a mock draft. Okay, so the first 10 picks are in. And we got Cam Ward. I don't think Will Campbell will go number 2. I don't. I just have a feeling he won't. Travis Hunter, that's a good pick for the Giants. Abdul Carter, I think, is a good pick for the Patriots. Mason Graham to Jacksonville. I'm sorry, Mason, although Balky's out of there. So Ashton Genty went to the Raiders, which has been a lot of these mock drafts I've done, I've seen a lot of the Raiders taking either Mason Graham or Ashton Genty or Shador Sanders. But Shador Sanders went to the New York New York Jets. Will Johnson to the Panthers. I can't pronounce his name. Was that Tatoria McMillan? He went to the Saints. That's an explosive receiver. And it looks like the Bears took Shamir Stewart, which I kind of wanted to take, but maybe. So let's see who's available to us. We have Armand Membu, which I'm almost locked in. That's going to be my pick. Yeah. Tyler Warren, Kelvin Banks, Mikael Williams, Jalen Walker. That's another guy I'm big on. That was the guy that Matt Mayoko took. I think he's a solid linebacker, which we need.
Yeah, he can play the Dre Greenlaw role, or on third downs, you can push him in at DN.
Yep. You got James Pierce. You got Derek Harmon. Can you see that all right, or should I blow it up?
I can barely see it, man. It's just, that will do.
How's that? Is that better?
A little bit more.
A little bit more? Oh,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Let me see how I can do a little more. There we go. Let's do that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Armand Membu would probably be the obvious choice. Because
that's the obvious choice. I don't see how you can get past that. Now, let's take a look at the trade offers.
Okay, let's look at the trade offers. But
okay, the Chargers are offering pick number 22 and 55 in the 2026 third round. That's not bad.
Let's look at the next one.
The next one, no, thank you. Like, come on, man. Like this one, let me think about for a minute. The problem with this one is that Armand Membu is there, and he won't be there at 22. No, he'll go. I'm taking Armand. I'm taking him.
Yeah, no hesitation, man. I'm taking him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's just too good. That's too good to pass up. Oh God, everyone's leaving. I just saw hella names go by. Okay, here we go. Atlanta's offering pick 46 and 242 for our 43, so we drop back 3 spots. That could be one.
We get an extra pick, okay. I mean, but we'll see.
And look at the KC. They want somebody at this pick.
No.
But they're giving up 63 and 66, but that's another 20 spots back, man. I don't know about that. Anyway, it's the Chiefs too. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah, they took our Super Bowl.
I'll think about this one, but look who's here. Walter Nolan is still here. Kenneth Grant is still here.
Ooh, yeah.
Josh Connerly Jr.
Oh, Josh Connerly, but we already got a tackle.
We do, but the Niners really need 2 defensive tackles. I mean, they got rid of Malik Collins.
Oh, yeah. Defensive tackle is what I'm talking about, yeah.
And right now, we already have Armand Membu, so we have an elite offensive lineman.
Yeah, we're going to need somebody who can stop the run or at least be effective, which Kenneth Grant kind of fits the mold.
He's like 49ers of the trade with the Chiefs last year. I know, fuck them. And they got fucking Xavier Worthy. Like, come on, Niners, don't help them out. Okay, so where I'm looking at right now.
Ooh, Williams. Yeah, I've heard about this.
I mean, Tyleik Williams is also there too, and he's really good. The 2 guys that I'm focused on is either Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant. Out of the 2, I feel like Kenneth Grant is the guy I'm going. I love Kenneth Grant.
Big body guy.
Big body, but he moves like a small body guy.
Yeah, I would take Kenneth Grant because of you need a big guy that can stop the run and
the run. And that's what they sucked at last season, was stopping the run. Although I love Walter Nolan. Tyleik Williams, that's another good guy.
Yeah, Tyleik has got some upside, dude. Like, I think he would probably be the best fit, but you probably want to go with Kenneth Grant because he's a bigger guy.
Now, but here's the thing, though. In real life, I don't think these guys would be available at this point. No. It's possible, but probably not. Because let's see who else they took. Here we go. Oh, I went too high. See, Marcus Membo already went. Easery, Mike Green. See, I would think that these guys would go ahead of Mike Green.
Yeah, they probably
Mike
would.
Green's and Jackson Dart. I don't think that the Browns would draft Jackson Dart.
Well, knowing the quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson, who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, is that the answer? I don't know. Like KC went with Benjamin Morrison, who I like, but I would imagine that they would go defensive line.
Yeah.
Gray Zabel, they took a guard. I don't think they would have done that either. I think they would have taken defensive line because they lost a lot of
Realistic-
guys on defense.
Yeah, the realistic one that I see that's more realistic is TJ Sanders would be at our spot.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
the
so.
South Carolina. Yeah, I would think the TJ Sanders kid from South Carolina would be the realistic, or the Darian Porter kid from Iowa State.
I mean, but look at this though. And these guys traded up. These are all the trades. Let me see. I just want to see. Derek Harmon did go right number 20. That's another guy.
If you trade down, you would have still got Derek Harmon. So yeah.
Well, and I think that's why they're so big on why they were so present at the Oregon Pro Days, because they know there's a guy in Derek Harmon that if they trade back into the 20s, they might be able to get him. So, but to me, look, there's talk about Niners making a trade on, for their first round pick. I think, to be honest, with all the needs that this team needs, they need to get the best available player at number 11. They can't just give that up unless they're getting a sweet fucking deal for that pick. I would keep the number 11 pick. I like Jalen Walker as well. He's the other guy that I would consider if Membu wasn't there, I would have been talking more about Jalen Walker because they need that linebacker.
Yeah, they do. But I think when you look at the realistic spots, okay, so like you just said, you don't think these guys are going to be available. But I think realistically, if you're going by realistically, you got to go with TJ Sanders. Or if you want cornerback or best available, I've heard a lot about Darian Porter, bro, from Iowa State. Like he's got speed and size. He looks like Cam Newton out there.
Okay, so with this pick, who do you like for our next pick at 43?
Oh, at this spot, like as far as like I don't think neither guy's gonna come. But if I had to choose, I probably would go with Kenneth Grant personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kenneth Grant. That's what we need is a run stopping plug at the defensive tackle. He's a monster. This guy is 6'3", 331 pounds,
and he'll take double team pretty well.
Now, the one thing, though, I will say, because, 49er Media is saying Walter Nolan is there. No way you pass on that. The thing about Walter Nolan is that he does have some footwork issues, and he does get blown up on the defensive line that allows big gaping holes for the running backs. That's all things that he can learn and be coached on. But I think that when you talk about plug and play and doing what they're supposed to do, I don't think Kenneth Grant is going to be your big pass rusher, but he's just going to be a big body in there to stop the run. And
we need that.
We need that. I hear what you're saying, though, because normally in a lot of my drafts, I took Walter Nolan, but we're going to go Kenneth Grant locked in. There it goes. Okay, Walter Nolan's already gone. We knew that. They go TJ Sanders. Okay, Detroit's offering 102 and 130 for 75 and 147. We'll think about that one. 83 and 123. That's a good offer. Drop back 8 spots.
8 spots, okay, but what do you think?
Let's take who's here. Darius Alexander's still here. Alfred Collins is still here. I don't want Tez Johnson. That's like having
That's like, dude, he's a slower Cowan, bro.
Yeah, he's another Cowing. Chris Paul Jr., not to be mistaken with the basketball player.
I like that linebacker.
No, he's good. Anyone from the Ole Miss defense is really good at this point.
Yeah.
Barrett Carter. We do need a linebacker, but I really think we can get Jeffrey Bossa later in the
round.
Yeah. So let's take a look here. So this is under the all in terms of like the all ranking. If we went with a guy like Darius Alexander, right? We already have Kenneth Grant. You got Membu in your offensive line. Getting a guy like Alexander, that fortifies your defensive line. And this is how I'm seeing the Niners drafting is that you want to go D tackle, or edge rusher, D tackle. You got to really reinforce that defensive line, in my opinion.
Yeah, you do. Alexander is somebody that we were pretty high on, but I do like Collins from Texas also. He's another good one.
He's really good.
Yeah,
linebacker. You still got Samuel Mondin, who's there. You got Jeffrey Bossa, which is probably the guy that I'm going to end up taking.
I would wait for Caldwell. I would either wait for Caldwell in the 4th round or something like that because he's really good. Or JJ McGee would probably be good in the 4th round. But I think you can get a linebacker. I would try to get a linebacker like Chris Paul.
He's like RDO is straight trash. It is. And that's in the question too. Well, that's in the question too. Is that is it time for us to go running back? Because let's see who's there.
Well, yeah,
Cam Scadaboo is there. I don't know if I
okay.
want to take him with my third pick, though. I like him, but behind Christian McCaffrey, we know what that looks like.
Yeah, we already. If there's no point of getting a third string running back in the third round, maybe fourth or fifth round, I'll take one. But
Damian Martinez is still there.
Yeah, I would wait until Damian Martinez slides at least.
Let's see who's there at receiver.
Who's there at wide receiver?
Let's see. Torrey Horton is still there.
Oh yeah, he's my boy from Fresno, man. He played at Colorado State, but played at Central High School.
You got Jack B, Karen Lacey, Savion Williams. That's supposedly the. Yeah, you can wait a little longer for him. The only question with Savion Williams is his hands. He's had a lot of drops, and so that's something that they'd have to work on. Usually, when you have bad hands, though, you can't coach that. Nick Nash. I'm telling you, sleeper pick, Nick Nash. He was a baller at San Jose State. Yeah. Dante Thornton, Jimmy Horn Jr. Dude, Jimmy Horn Jr., look at this guy. It doesn't show it on here. He's hell small.
He's just he's like another Cowan.
Yeah, he's a little guy. Okay, so let's take a look at offensive tackle. Hollis Pierce is still there. Cornelius from Oregon.
Cornelius is nice. I think he can move. I think he would be the one that would have replaced Jalen Moore's spot, but we already got Membu.
Yeah, I mean, getting Membu along with Dominic Pooney. What do you put Membu on the line?
Membu would probably play where McKivitz is supposed to play. He can probably beat him out, or worst case scenario, he'll play guard with Trent Williams.
So if you took Holland Pierce, you'd have to ask him, hey, would you mind playing, left guard next to Trent Williams? Because he's an offensive tackle. But let's say you did that and then you rebuilt your offensive line, although you haven't done the center position yet. So
yeah, but how would you want to put a 6'8" guy at guard?
Yeah, 6'8".
Yeah. I mean, he's a big guy. Think of Trent Brown. Remember how we used to have Trent Brown a while back? That dude was big. But no, go look at the center. Jarrett Wilson, that's the guy I would want to get.
The center.
Is he gone?
See him. He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. He was taken because he had a good combine.
He's already. Damn.
He was at the combine. He ran a 4.84 or something like that.
Everyone from center is gone.
Well, Jake Majors, you can wait for maybe in the fourth round or around the fifth. You can get Jake Majors.
Where did he go?
Like him
there goes Jake. It goes to Shrepo, Mason Taylor. Oh well.
I like Mason Taylor.
There's TJ Sanders. It went to KC.
Well,
they took Swinson.
Yeah, we can make a decision.
Bro, Walter Nolan in this draft went to the Texans. Holy
Must be
shit.
characters. Must be characters off the field, I guess. I don't know.
but you still got Daniil Hunter. You got all kinds of guys on that defensive line. Where is Travion Henderson? He went. He'd be a good running back. I'd like having him, but again, and then A.O. Manor from Stanford. He was good, but they're ranking him pretty high in receivers. I didn't think he was that good. Okay, so let's go back to where we were at. Okay, so let's go to all and see who's the best. There's Darius Alexander. There's Alfred Collins.
I think we're gonna have to double on him, but I think you need to get a pass rusher. You need an edge. So Kyle Kennard from South Carolina he's off the chain, bro. I think he's the conference of the defensive player of the year, if I'm mistaken.
Kyle Kennard is a high motor edge rusher with excellent instincts and relentless approach, disrupting the backfield. He showcases impressive explosiveness off the snap. I mean, he's 6'4", 254. It's a good size for an edge rusher as well. And he's not
he was defensive player of the year too, so that's a big deal.
Well, and also he's not a heavy guy. He's only 254, so he's got speed on him too. There's also Denzel Burke. I like him a lot at corner.
Cornerback. There's different options. You can go with
Chris
Kyle
Paul
Kennard.
Still there. Yeah, go ahead.
I like Chris Paul more.
Jared Ivey, he's still there.
Oh yeah, Jared Ivey's a big dude. Yep.
I don't know if he'll be there by the time we get back because our next pick is 7. Oh no, our next pick is 100. So 25 picks now, maybe.
I mean, I'm kind of in debate between Kyle Kennard or maybe Chris Paul would be one of my two. But if you want to go with cornerback, that's up to you, man. I mean, I think that cornerback is definitely a need. But what's another quarterback besides Denzel Burke that I might like?
Let me see.
Because
Denzel Burke, Dorian Strong, Zay Alexander's still there, Kobe Bryant.
I would want to. I know this may sound like a reach, bro, but Kobe Bryant is the kind of guy I like because he trash talks, bro. He gets on. He backs
So let's
up
do
his
this
stuff.
then. Let's do this. I think I guess Kyle Kennard. Even you know what? Even what's his face? Jack Sawyer, I think is already gone too. And
no, but David Walker.
he's right there.
I interviewed this kid, David Walker, and this guy can do. They call him the Terminator.
Okay, so here I'll give this pick to you. Yeah. So who do you want? You want Kennard or do you want Alexander? Who are you taking?
Ooh. Well, if you want to double on those D tackles, I would just take Collins. As much as I don't like Texas, dude, I cannot stand Texas, but Collins, bro, he is a baller.
All right, let's go with so which one do you want to take? Collins. Okay. Locked in.
Double that D tackle, bro.
Okay, here we go. They're offering 103 for 100. We'll think about that. Okay, now we got Chris Paul Jr. and you got Cam Scatterbo. But I still believe that, like, when it comes to Cam Scatterbo, like, as much as I like this guy, I feel like he's not going to get a lot of touches because you got Christian McCaffrey.
He's going to be a third stringer. And we could check the cornerback, see if it's still available. Maybe your guy will still be there.
I doubt it. No, he's gone. So you still got Kobe Bryant. I pick 100 or Malachi Moore is still there.
We can
Latham
still get
Ransom. What do we have so far? This is taking longer than I thought.
Ooh, Birch is good. I've heard a lot, but David Walker, bro, that's the guy I've interviewed, and this guy's got a motor, bro. This guy's ridiculous.
So we got Membu, Grant, and Collins. So we got D tackle. We need an edge rusher. That's what we need.
David Walker is a run stopper, but dude, he is the most productive player in the draft. And even with the interview, bro, if you saw this interview, this guy has a motor. Even through the Senior Bowl, you know, KJ Wright likes this kid.
Well, there's another guy too, the Olafamwe. He's still here at edge from UCLA.
Yeah, there's John Joyner too that I interview also. But those guys, I mean, they've been pretty high on Fauna for whatever reason.
Okay, so let's go with
but we can look at linebacker, bro. Chris Paul is there.
You know what? You're right. Let's get him.
Yeah,
or we can wait for Jeffrey Bossa, but Bossa, he's 6'1", 232.
But I just like Chris Paul's, like, he just seems like more of a guy you can plug in right away.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to take Chris Paul. Not to be mistaken with the player, the basketball player. Yeah. Okay. What's up? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. That's why. Okay, we're up again. Samuel Malden's still there. Jeffrey Boss is still there. I could have waited for him. So for edge rushers,
you can get that.
David Walker right there. Let's check the overall. Cam Scatterbo is still there.
Yeah,
hey, this is the one draft that he's been there the longest.
Yeah. And knowing this regime, they're probably just going to pull the trigger on this guy.
Yeah, well, guess what? We're not the regime. Let's see who else is there. Joshua Farmer. Well, we already got a D tackle already, though.
So we double that. Yep.
One more thing. Let me look at receiver. Nick Nash still there. Savion's gone. We do need help at receiver, but you know what, though? Look, you still got Jennings, Pearsall, and you got Demarcus Robinson, so you don't have a bad receiving core. I actually think
you can wait until like the later rounds to maybe get one.
And we're only in round 4, and we're only going to round 5. So, okay, real quick, let's go to the corner. Jordan Hancock is still there. Let's go to linebacker. We already got that. Safety.
Well, I love Bowman, but I don't think it's a need.
Let's look at offense as well. Tight end. Possibly. Jackson Slater. This is another guy like out of Sacramento State. I went to Sac State. I'm in love with Jackson Slater, to be honest with you. It probably has a lot to do with the fact that I went to Sac State as well. But that's another guy you can get because right now we got Membu, D tackle, linebacker. So really,
and he could play center too because I've seen the interviews that he was asked to play center also, so he can be the one we could draft at center.
I mean, obviously he comes from a smaller school in Sac State. I know Taryn's even asking, how is Cam Skelley not been taken? I'm screaming to my team to take him. Don't blame you, Dre. I love my Arizona guys. Yeah, you know, it feels like it's calling to us. Like he's still there. And we do need depth at running back because right now, who's your backup running back? It's going to be Isaac Garendo.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can just wait until Martinez is available because Martinez is actually a physical back, and we only got
2 more picks left. We got 2 more picks left. We're only going to round 5. I'm not doing a 7-rounder.
Okay, let's go an edge rusher or maybe whatever you want.
Let's see, defense, edge, David Walker.
Yeah, Walker is the real deal, bro. Like I've watched a lot of his tapes throughout the Senior Bowl. And even through the combine, he's kind of did pretty well. He may be undersized, but this dude makes up for it, man. He's a good run stopper. This is what we need is a guy who can set the edge. And just from a 30-minute interview with this kid, bro, this kid, he's the real deal.
Let's see. We also got there's David Walker and Alufame. I can't even say it. Alufame. He's still there too. I know they're big on him. All right, let's go David Walker. I'm locking it in.
Yeah, he's a good one. They call him Terminator.
We still got 3 more picks. Oh, look, there's Alufame. He's still there. Let's see. Okay, someone finally took Cam. Who took him? Oh, I can't see right there. Hold on. Who I want to see who took Cam Scadaboo.
Somebody took him finally.
Oh, Denver. Hey, good for Denver.
Because they wanted to get their own Christian McCaffrey.
We have no trade offers. That's fine. Let me go up to we're in all. So we have Farmer. Oh shit.
We need a cornerback.
Yeah, we need corner. All right, who are you taking for corner?
Oh, I like Jacob Parrish. He's kind of he may be undersized, but he makes up for it, man. Like he plays kind of like good in the nickel. He can play other coverage skills. I mean, but then you got Mello Dotson, who's kind of like not
Mello Dotson is good. Noel Williams out of Cal. They had a really good defense this year, and he played really well for the Cal Bears. Jalen Smith is also there.
Yeah, I hate the draft grade. He should be a little more higher than that. Noel Williams, he should be a little higher than that.
I kind of want to take Noel Williams. He's a local guy, and he's good. He's 6 foot, 199.
Or if not, if not, you can get Mr. Majors. No, don't we have a center or no?
Oh, let me see. You need a center?
Yeah, we might need one for Mr. Brendo.
Jake Majors.
Yeah, but we're still looking at corner. So if you want to reach for Noel Williams, that wouldn't be quite a reach. Who cares what the Pro Football grade puts in? He should be up the grade anyways.
Okay, hold on. This fucking ad is in my way.
I hate that too. I get that.
Okay, CJ West.
Yeah, I've done these mock drafts. Yeah, I've done these mock drafts for a while, and then I did. Interviews.
We could easily go Jamari Caldwell.
Ooh,
to get more help. To get more help there.
Yeah, Caldwell is actually a good run stopper too.
But we need a corner. There's Malachi Moore for safety. Who's the best? Jacob Parrish is the highest ranked corner right now.
Yeah, I've heard good grades about him. He's kind of like what DJ Reed is, if not like similar. But I think you'll want somebody like Dotson who's got the ball hawk skills.
Where's Dotson at? Let's see.
Yeah, Dotson's got ball hawk skills.
All right, you know what? Let's do it. We're going to take Mello Dotson. Okay, that's in. Okay.
Yeah, he would fit well because he's not afraid of tackling too.
So this would drop us back, 9 spots, 11 spots, and will give us a 199 to kind of end the draft. We'll think about that one. Who's still there? We only got 2 more picks left. We got to wrap this up because I still got to cover the Warriors and Giants.
My bad.
Joshua Farmer. Do we go that route? Danny Stuntsman.
Stutzman, yes. But we already got a linebacker. Never mind.
And we already have D. Winters and Curtis Robinson and Tatum Bethune. So
we're good. We're good.
We're kind of loaded there.
West, man. That dude, I mean, but is Caldwell still there?
Let's take Jamar Caldwell.
Yeah, you need to fortify that D tackle spot.
Yeah, now you have the depth that you need at the okay, here we go. Last pick. Oh, who's at all? Farmer's like, fuck, help me out. Even though this is not even real. I was just seeing who's here.
But yeah, let's see. Like a tight end we can get for a backup, right?
Oh, tight end. Oh, you know what? Did I just see that?
Oh,
Famu's still there. Jordan James out of Oregon.
You want to get Ofama?
Damn, our whole you know what? Let's take a look at the running backs real quick.
Yeah. Ooh, that Kyle guy from Rutgers is the real deal.
Jaquez Hunter from Auburn. Taj Brooks is pretty good.
I like Taj Brooks. Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so many players.
No, that
Trevor
Rutgers
Etienne. Trevor Etienne.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Well, he's only 5'8", too, but you don't got to be huge, though.
He just has to fit the system.
What do we have so far? We have defensive tackle. We went all defensive tackle. We got one linebacker, an edge rusher.
The running back from Rutgers is on the top of the board if you want to take him.
Fuck it, let's just take him. And that's it. That's the draft. Okay, so that's how. You know what? We didn't even take another offensive lineman. We looked at him like multiple times and we never did it because we had Jackson Slater set up.
Yeah, it could have been Jackson Slater, but from this grade, okay. Ahmad Membu seems like a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. You have to take him. You cannot let him just get away.
Kenneth Grant doesn't seem like a second-round pick, but it's possible. Who knows? You know how this draft is.
Well,
it could be like.
Here's the thing, though. If Membu becomes available, that's an opportunity for the Niners to trade back, but to get a ton in return to get this guy. So they may make a trade if Membu is available to another team who wants to give up a bunch of draft picks, especially second rounders, to get this guy. So this is our mock draft 1.0. Armand Membu is our number 1 pick at number 11. Kenneth Grant, which I love. Chris Paul Jr. is a stud. David Walker. Jamari Caldwell, way late in the draft. And we got a running back as well in Kyle Monanagi. I think we did pretty good. We did pretty good. All right.
We went trenches, so that's good.
That's good. Chris, thank you for joining me. We'll have to do it again real soon. I think we did good on the first draft, dude. I think we did really good.
Yeah. Hopefully we go on a full 7 round, but I think other than that, it was pretty good.
It's pretty good. Guys, you're watching NorCal. Good to see you as well, man. Guys, you're watching the NorCal Sports Report on IE Sports Radio. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more of this content, then check out some of these recommended videos right here on your screen. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by going to my website, which is nicotina.net, and there are memberships available under DreArea Sports.